Hello and welcome back to College COD. Weekend 2 of playoffs is finally upon us. My name is Spyro. Joined with me is Morgan Dunn, and we are going to bring you guys all the action from the first two matches of the night here on our Bravo stream. The first
Yes,
match.
Spyro. Oh, sorry. We're still getting used to things. I was just going to say I am excited because things start to get real once the names start to come out for these rounds. It's no longer round one, round two. We are into the winners quarterfinals between Illini Orange and Concord Maroon.
Yeah, winners quarters is going to be a great one. And like you mentioned, Concord Maroon going against Illini Orange is one that we've seen before in regular standing seasons. Both of these guys played in the Southeast Division, and they have matched up with each other before. And it's good to mention that the last time that they did match up, it was a little bit of a 3-0 in favor of Concord Maroon, but Illini Orange, they've been on a little bit of a tear themselves. So we're going to have to see how they're going to fare up in this match. So to get things started, let's just go and look at the rosters, pull them up real quick if we can see them.
Oh, that's not quite it. But we'll just talk you through.
Yeah.
You never know what might happen, as now it seems like that is the right one. For the side of Concord Maroon today, we have Megatron, Crooked, Red Chase, Trauma, and Paralysis. And across from them for Illini Orange, it is Shuffy, Shields, Crit, Grinch, and Versa. Now, I want to say right off the bat, for these guys from Concord Maroon, they're all slayers. They all bring the big damage, and they win a lot of their games through just out-killing the team across from them.
Yeah, without a doubt. They're a very dangerous team to be playing if you are any team in playoffs in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. But if anyone is going to be able to stand up for them, or stand up to them at least, it's going to be Illini Orange. These guys ended their regular season 15-2. They've had pretty decent run of things going forward in the winners bracket so far, but when it's Concord Maroon, you are standing up against. It's never going to be an easy match. Taking a look real quick at the stats for Illini Orange, you can see their hardpoint win-loss ratio is going to be 18-5, Search and Destroy 17-3, Domination 14-4. You see their ranks out of the 32 teams that we have here.
What I think what really matters is when you look at their recent games in the playoffs, they have been coming through 3-0 in Search and Destroy, and that might be their way to get over this Concord Maroon team. But speaking of Concord, why don't we go head over and see what their stats are looking for?
Yeah, definitely. Over on the side of Concord Maroon, you can see throughout their regular season, well, they've dropped one map for both Search and Destroy and Hardpoint, and they are currently undefeated on Domination. These guys, like you mentioned before, they are slayers. They are absolutely insane. But like you mentioned, the more recent games in playoffs are what we should be talking about, because one of the biggest things to come out of that first weekend of playoffs that we had is that Concord Maroon has finally been proven mortal. I think it was Arizona State took off 2 games for them. Unfortunately, of course, it did end in a Concord Maroon 3-2, but Arizona State showed that these guys can be touched. They can bleed. They can be taken down at least somewhat. So that's going to be anything. If you're Illini Orange, that's what you're going to look at, and you're going to try and take off that Search. You're going to try and take off that hard point, and you're going to try and do whatever you can. And for Illini Orange, their Search, that's something that they can definitely do.
And if I'm going to be honest, if I'm Illini Orange, I'd almost be upset at ASU, because now Concord Maroon, they might be a little angry. They have been shown that they have some weaknesses, and they're going to be wanting to come into this match today, get a quick 3-0, and show they are still a team to be reckoned with. So if I'm from Illini, you got to get out right out of the gate, get yourself set up, or else you will be sent down and with no chance of return from the first map.
Oh, without a doubt. If these guys, Concord Maroon, they are absolutely vicious. These guys are going to be a team that, like you mentioned, they're going to come out of the gates hot. They're going to do whatever they can to try and, cement themselves as the best team in the league, which number one position right now, they definitely are. So it's going to be very dangerous for Illini moving forward. But I think we're going to be almost ready to hop into the match once we get a chance to.
So real quick then, right before we hop into the match, let's take a quick look at what map we will be going into right off the bat. It is going to be Hackney Yard for the first hardpoint. And as we said, everyone's just got to keep your eyes out on these Concord Maroon players. How fast can they get into those positive KDs? Who's going to be racking up the most kills? Because that is how they're going to be playing. I'm sure they'll have great control of the spawns, where they're coming from. But when it matters most in the 1v1, I'm going to be expecting it to go to the boys in red more often than not.
Yeah, guaranteed. I've had the privilege of casting over Concord Maroon before, specifically actually on Hackney Yard, and these guys, when they get to play aggressive, they will play aggressive. And it's one of those things where they're a team that anyone at any point in time can pick up whatever they're leaving, and they can just go off at any point in time. Red Chase, for example, he's a player that has the lowest KD out of Concord Maroon, I believe, right now at about a 1.5, 1.4, or something like that.
Oh,
with
so
about
low.
128 seconds hill time. So potato. If you
if your trade-off for getting all of the time on the point is only having a 1.5 KD, I think your team is in a pretty good setup. We do also, if I'm going to be looking for an MVP from that side, it is going to be Megatron at one point having a 2 KD on Search and Destroy, but we're going to be loading into map 1 right now. As soon as things, there we go, get across, and it is Illini Orange starting on the better side, hitting into this first hill, and the Semtex comes in for shield, and he finds one right off the bat. Megatron getting sent down to the grave, and control to the Orange first.
Yeah, Illini Orange, they started that push off very, very well. The Navy was lucky enough to come in, but over there on your mini-map, while all these kills are going down for Illini over here in the P1 hill, the spawns have already flipped for Concord Maroon. They were able to get through and get everything that they needed to have their team spawning over on the P2 side, but Shields, he's smart enough to just know that, hey, these guys are spawning in around me. I'm just going to lay down and have them come to me, but unfortunately, he's going to go down as well, and that's a quick 4 dead for Concord Maroon. Versa, the only one alive. He's able to pick up a kill, and now the spawns are firmly in Concord Maroon's favor. Crooked, the only one in the hill, is able to pick up 1, not the second, though, as well. Hills being traded left and right, and currently, control for the hill is going to be over on the side of Illini Orange.
Yeah, Crooked did a good job getting a 2-piece to break through the defense of Illini, but then off of their respawns, there were just too many. But look who is back. It is Crooked with his teammate Paralysis, and the action is going back and forth inside Hill 1. Illini Orange come out ahead, but as you look at the mini-map, all 5 members of Concord Maroon setting up that line of scrimmage and trying to hold on to the second hill.
And they're spread out just so well to cover any angle that Illini was able to, would even think to go through, right? We went over the side of Paralysis for just a moment. All he was doing was laying there, watching that door, trying to see when they were trying to come out, and he was able to catch at least someone off before he was able to fall. And now, all the time, going over to the side of Concord Maroon, and 4 dead once again for the side of Illini Orange. Megatron will fall, but they have not been touched yet on this hill, Concord Maroon, and couple kills are going to go to the side of Illini for the time being, but looks like they are going to start immediately thinking about this P3 hill, as it seems like scrap time is going to go over the side of Concord Maroon as they're going to start pushing the lead.
Shuffy does do a good job to get a double kill right there onto Megatron and Paralysis, and then he was waiting for some exit frags, but no one runs past him. We do have to say, though, Illini are over to the point first. It is Crit onto the 3rd hill, and let's see if his team can help defend him. Shield picks up the first one onto Crooked. From inside the point, Crit goes down to Trauma, and Concord is starting on their big push to break through.
Yeah, and the push comes through. They are in the hill. Concord Maroon now are starting to be able to get the points. Grinch just trying to push the spot above, seeing if anyone's trying to push that top Z position. Red Chase now in the point is going to be able to pick up 1 more kill, and none of the players for Illini are in a position to start contesting just yet. Paralysis is going to pick up a 3-piece with Megatron helping him over there in your kill feed, and once again, another 4 dead in Illini. This is about one of those points where you think they're gonna start moving over towards that P4 hill now as well, because, well, they were able to get a little bit of time, but Paralysis, he's on a 5 spree. Concord Maroon 87 to 47. It's time to move forward.
Trauma doing a good job there, picking up 3. Actually, I take that back as I take a second look. The 3rd kill was onto his teammate, but still a nice double kill. What I wanted to mention, if you want an idea of how solid these defenses at the point are for Concord Maroon, Red Chase got to 1:10 on hardpoint time before he picked up his first death. That is how well his entire team was defending him and just letting him sit down and hang out. And now on to this 4th hill. There's getting contested, and when it is all said and done, it looks like Illini Orange is going to be able to clear it off for the moment. They have 2 members inside the building to defend, and the rest of Concord Maroon is building their forces over on the left side of the map. Here comes the push in from Crooked as he is into the point. Contention back and forth as Shufi gets 1, but they go down. Megatron clears it out, and Concord Maroon on a big retake. Megatron actually finds a double. He is in between a rock and a hard place, and Crit ends up clearing it down for him.
That was a beautiful break initially for Illini Orange, but it's little points like that where if you notice where Concord Maroon were set up on the right side, the left side of the map, that's also where the P5 hill is about to pop in just a moment. So no matter what, Illini would have had to push through and get the kills and get the spawns for this hill, while Concord Maroon was set up absolutely perfectly to be able to get those spawns as well. And at the same time, they were able to push 1 or 2 players in and get a little bit more scrap time while still having the spawns for that hill. So Illini Orange, they're going to start to have a very difficult time pushing through, as it looks like they are going to start to push in now. 3 are going to go down for the side of Concord Maroon. Versa is going to be taken down as well. So now that push for Illini Orange completely shot down by the side of Concord Maroon. These holds are absolutely perfect for them.
Yeah, and you said they're going to have a tough time starting now, but when you look at the KDs, they've been having a tough time the whole game. The only man sitting at positive right now is Grinch at 13-10 for Illini Orange, and Concord Maroon is just continuing to grow this lead. They just passed 80 points ahead of Illini Orange. Completely lost my train of thought. And now as we get back to this first hill, we'll see if Illini can actually turn things around. It's the second rotation. Things are not done yet, but we've seen the script get written out, and they need to be changing it up here.
Yeah, for just a moment on that on the right side of your minimap as well, one of the players that was Crooked for the side of Concord Maroon, he snuck through for just a moment to try and get the spawns for his team. And he did go down, but that opened the way for the rest of his team to be able to push through and get those spawns as well. So Illini Orange, they are going to have the spawns currently for this P1 hill, but Concord Maroon, they are good and set for P2, and Crooked is going to pick up 2 in the hill as well. 24 seconds left. He's just going to be dancing around, slide canceling his way around this hill, trying to pick off as many players as he can see. He's going to find another dip back, and this is what players like anyone in Concord Maroon are so good at doing. He's sitting in the hill, doing nothing but being annoying. He's dashing back and forth, not letting them get a single shot onto him, and well, starting to get a little bit out of control for Illini Orange now. 173 to 112 after the second P2 hill.
Absolutely. If one player can hold off your entire squad that long and they just set up onto the rotation to the next hill, it becomes so hard to get back into the game. Right now, Paralysis in an aggressive position only gets 1 for it, though, before Shuffy can't shut him down. So now, 4, or actually, I was about to say 4, but 2 members of Illini Orange go down in quick succession, and it is only Shield and Grinch left to try and hold them off, regroup, and make a push. It doesn't seem like anything is going to happen, though. Concord doing such a good job of holding off these teams, but at the top of the building through the window, Shields manages to get 1. See if he can find a second, but no, 2 barrels stare him down, and he gets sent back to the grave. Concord Maroon crosses 212 points, and they are looking to finish this one off onto the next hill, possibly.
Yeah, the end of that hill, that was all desperation plays, honestly, for the side of Illini Orange. All they really had to do is have one cohesive push forward to try and get a little bit of time in, and it seemed like they were just pushing one after another to just to try and stop the bleeding from Concord Maroon, and unfortunately it didn't go their way, as luckily, though, Crooked is going to fall as he's pushing forward all the way through those spawns. So now this P3 hill is going to be held in favor of Illini Orange for the time being. The player in there, though, is going to fall. Red Chase over in the top of the area was able to take him down. Now Trauma pushing forward aggressively, able to take the player in the hill down as well, and the kills are being traded left and right from each team. And if you're in Illini Orange, honestly, the trades are the worst case scenario for the time being, because eventually it leads up to what you see in your kill feed. 2 kills from Red Chase, 2 kills for Paralysis, and Hill firmly in control for Concord Maroon. And they're they're bleeding. They're bleeding very hard. It's starting to get a little bit out of the realm of possibility.
Well, absolutely. The problem is for Illini right now is when you get this far behind, Concord Maroon no longer has to play for long, continuous holds on the hard point. They just need to get tick after tick, bleed, as you are saying, the points through, and they will be able to make it to 250 first. For right now, through the fourth hill, we are into seeing Illini Orange trying to hold this defense, but as Red Chase and Megatron rush in, they get a couple of kills, but it is not enough. Paralysis, though, with Trauma, quick on the response to continue this pressure. And every time you see one kill come up in orange, there are 2 kills in red to answer it. This is a huge hold for Concord Maroon, and I think it might be the end. Another member falls as Paralysis gets the kill onto Versa, and there goes another onto Grit. Illini just cannot get into the hill right now, and as the last tick comes in, Concord Maroon is going to win map 1.
Incredible plays by all the players in Concord Maroon. They did so very well, especially on that last part of that hill as well. Realistically speaking, they didn't even need to fight for that hill. They could have just laid back, gotten the spawns for P5, and just kind of hung out while all the players for Illini Orange pushed through, and they didn't want to do that. They said, you know what? We want to end this game right here. We want to take this hill, and we want to show them why we've been the most dominant entirety of the season. Looking at the scores as well,
I was going to say, as you look at the stats, it is Crooked that came out dominant here, 34-21, also with the second most time on the point for his team. In every direction, as we saw on that hill 1 at one point, he was sitting there all alone and still picking up kills left and right. We called it right off the gate that Concord is going to play through fragging and slaying, and that they did a great job of it, outslaying the team of Illini today.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're a couple of the players on Illini, you really got to try and push through that last map, because that was hard. That was a hard map. You can call it a slaughter because it kind of was, but this is a time where you really got to start looking forward to your search and destroys, because this is one of the game types that you've been so dominant in throughout the entirety of the game. You got Arklov Peak. That's one of your better maps. So if you're them, you at least pull your head up, look forward, and say, hey, let's play our game, not let them get anything started, and hopefully we can come out a little bit better than we did this map.
That's exactly what I was going to say. S&D is where I think Illini is going to have to make their comeback, because when you come against a team that is as good at killing as Concord Maroon, those respawn game modes of hardpoint, of domination, they just tend to always lean in their direction. But when things slow down and you only have one life to play with, that's when your in-game leader, your strategies can start to take hold, and you can really turn around the script. So as we are going into Arklov Peak, through the regular season, this was a huge map for Search and Destroy for Illini Orange. They played it 14 times, and they won it 13 of those. So of all of the things they could have got going for them, this is probably the break they needed. I'm surprised that didn't get banned at all. But as we load right into map 2, we'll be able to see if Illini can actually take this gift given to them and even up the score count 1-1.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to start pulling out of their hats as we start the game off. It looks like it might actually be a quick commitment over towards this B site for the side of Illini Orange. The sniper for Shuffy is going to be out, just trying to see if he can catch anyone from Concord Maroon out of position. And, well, Trauma on the bomb.
He does indeed. Red Chase, the first man to go down, but as you say, Trauma onto the bomb, has 2 members pushing him at once, and he cannot pick up either. 3 quick kills come through for Illini Orange. The plant is going to get down, and this is exactly what they needed to turn around the momentum. Concord Maroon does manage to get 1, make it 2 for Paralysis, but he is still in a 1v3 situation. He is going to need to ace this to turn it around for his squad, and with the lines of sight starting to get set up for Illini Orange, it's going to be interesting to see how he chooses to play this. He's going for the window line of sight. No one to peek him quite yet, as Christian through that wall is not going to be able to see it. It is going to be up to Shields, and he does pick up the kill. Illini Orange start things out fast and get the 1-0 lead over Concord.
That was an absolutely beautiful play by them as well. The execution was perfect. You saw that first kill comes in with the sniper, and the rest of them just start collapsing in. And this is what you got to do if you're playing against Concord Maroon. They're going to play hard. They're going to play aggressive, and they're going to play to kill. And that's exactly what you got to be able to match. And Paralysis, you know, at the end of that, it looked like he did actually have his dead silence ready, and I don't disagree with his choice not to use it, because he could have jumped in. He could have tried to find a kill. He could have tried to find something, but little bit safer just to be able to use it in on this next round moving forward. And so now we're going to see what they can do aggressively over towards this A side of the map.
Yeah, Shuffy is setting up in that trench. He had the sniper last time. I wonder if he is still running it. No, he has gone over to the M4. Still long range, but not as much. But it doesn't matter. Picks up the first kill onto Paralysis, but runs out of bullets as he sprays down trench. And now the kills are coming back for Concord. They get 3, and there are 2 for Illini, making it a 3v2 situation. Advantage to the team in red. The plant is going to come down from Crooked as well, and they are now starting to hunt. As you said, they played a kill as Crooked chases down Shields, and it is all onto Versa. Somehow, it is like he is coming in. Is it going to be the Ninja Defuse? He goes to hold it, but not enough time. Concord looks back over. They pick up the kill, and it is evened up 1-1.
You know, I wonder if you're Illini Orange, one of the thought processes you start thinking is like, man, this is a really ballsy play, but I feel like we kind of need a ballsy play right now to try and win this round. And, well, they gave Concord Maroon an inch, and they took a mile after that. It seems like they're definitely a team that you have to have first blood. If you pull first blood, then you're probably you might have a little bit to be able to pull through the rest of the round. But you know, they pull first blood onto Illini, and well, we saw what happened with that. But now Illini once again bringing this bomb over towards that B bomb site. Shuffy once again with that sniper in the same position, but now sorry about that.
You're good.
Now the smoke is going to give them a little bit of cover.
Through the first 2 rounds, it has been the attacking side getting off to a hot start, but this time it's a 1-for-1 trade to start things off. Shuffy, no one there to answer his line of sight with that sniper rifle, but Shields is in front of him to help him out if someone decides to push. But for the moment, it seems like Illini is just biding their time. They have to worry, though, about Trauma moving through the top side, but it's actually Megatron opening it up with a sniper kill of his own onto Shuffy. Shields trades it back, and Versa gets another. That's going to make it a 3v2, and Illini Orange has retaken the advantage on this 3rd round.
It's such a good couple of plays from them as well. You can think the bomb probably not in the best position that you would want just yet. Now only 26 seconds left. You got to start making it. Yeah, plenty of time to do it, but when you're playing against a team like Concord Maroon, you kind of want as much time as you can gather. And now Versa able to pull off another kill onto Crooked, and it's Red Chase, the last player alive. And, well, they're planting all the way over at the B bomb site, or the A bomb site rather, and he was able to sneak right through a player. That was Versa. Didn't know he was there. Actually, might have caught wind of that as well. No, he's just kind of dancing around, trying to find anyone out of position. I'm actually not sure.
I think he's just, I don't know if he's even going to be going for this retake, but what I want to say is, so far, it has been always the attacking side team not only winning, but winning with 3 or 4 surviving members. So my eyes are starting to go to who is going to set up this defensive play, the new strategy to actually come out ahead for yourselves right here. That seems to be the winner of the game, is going to be whoever can win on the defensive side right now.
Yeah, guaranteed. And you know what? It's all going to be about momentum as well. I think whoever's going to get that first defensive round, they're going to start stringing in attacking rounds as well, and it's going to start to get very dangerous for whoever that other team is moving forward after that. Now, we're going to see what Concord Maroon can do. Are we going to see another? Are we going to see another attacking round win? Are we going to see their first defensive win on the side of Illini Orange?
Well, it's a 2-3 split for Illini. 3 members go to bend the A bomb site, but there is no one over there, as now you see the rotation starting to come through. They have sniffed it out. Will they be able to shut down this push over towards B? Crooked is the man getting aggressive towards the right side, but Versa with a double, make it 3 before he is shut down by Megatron with the big old sniper. But the damage is already done. That is 3 members down for Concord Maroon, and with only a sniper remaining, bomb laying in the middle of the open, I do not know how they'll be able to take this one back. My eyes are going to be on Crooked. He needs to start doing a lot of damage in return, but Illini isn't even going to give him a chance. They are all just waiting inside the building. More damage gets sprayed over, and this might just be a matter of time.
And that's what you need if you're Illini Orange, right? You need one player to go off and start building the momentum for your team to start pushing forward as much as they possibly can. Crooked now with the bomb. Now in a 1v4, not going to have much to be able to do. He might just try and pat the stats a little bit. Maybe he'll wait. Maybe we'll see what he chooses to do. Actually able to pick up a kill. Actually might find another if he is lucky.
Does dodge
Stun
the
comes
first
in.
sniper shot to come through.
Able to
Turns
pull
around,
the
finds a
second,
second.
though.
Now he has an opening on the bomb side. He might be able to get the plant down. He has to hold it, though. With time running in, he gets spotted out and taken down. In that situation, the odds were just stacked a little bit too far away from him, but he did his best to try and make it up.
Yeah, props to him for to be able to do anything in his power that he possibly could. But Illini Orange, they got started really, really quick, and they just kept coming out swinging the entirety of that round. And this is what we said. A little bit of momentum is going to go a long way. So now Illini Orange got their first defensive win, or actually got the first defensive win of the game so far. And now on attack as well, we're going to see if they choose to play anything a little bit different. It looks like that actually is going to be the case, as Shuffy with the sniper is actually going to choose to pull it over towards this trench area. A little bit different on the other attacking side that they had as well, pulling the sniper over towards Grave. And this is something I wonder if Concord Maroon is going to be able to sniff out pretty fast, but Shields is going to be able to pull that first kill onto Crooked, and things might start to get scary. Able to get another? Not just yet. Trom's going to be able to trade him out. He's going to dip around, just play his life. And now 5v, oh no, that's 4v2.
I gotta be questioning what Versa did right there. He had the chance to take out Trauma, didn't pull the trigger, and because of it, another one of his team members go down. In the end, when it's all said and done, it is a 2v2 situation. The teams are evened up, and both have a sniper. So in terms of the loadouts right now, it's pretty much an even game, but you gotta keep your eyes on the minimap. At the top side, Versa is going for this rotation. Will be able to pick up the kill onto Megatron, or will he get hurt out? Looks like he's going for a long flank around. He saw him, but he didn't realize it. Runs right past Megatron. He will be able to pick up the kill onto Chase, though, as both members of Concord Maroon thought that it was going to be going towards the B bomb site, and they went for the rotation. Now, Megatron, he is kind of in the middle of nowhere for the side of Illini Orange. They have no idea where he is after they missed his rotation, and he picked up the MP5. He's going to land his shots, and he turns it into a 1v1. The bomb does get planted, so a time limit is in, but I don't expect either of these teams, or either of these team members, to survive for another 30 seconds. I think we are going to come to a head well before that, as it is Versa pushing in through the trench. Around the corner comes Megatron, drops the people's elbow from the top rope, and he's going to get the defuse down. Concord Maroon manages to clutch it out and prevent Illini Orange from picking up their third in a row.
And that's just so deflating if you're Illini Orange, man. I mean, especially like you mentioned, he saw Megatron before, didn't realize it. That right there was his chance to end that round crazy early, and you have a play like that where Megatron played it perfectly, honestly.
Yeah, because of picking up that MP5, he gave himself a great chance for that comeback. Put it together beautifully, as you said. And now I got to be worried for Illini Orange. Is that going to be a bit of a backbreaker? Because they've been doing well of when they get the advantage to push it into round wins. But right there, they should have been able to put it out. Oh, and Megatron shuts down Shuffy in the sniper 1v1. It gets answered by Grinch's headshot, though, and it is starting to pop off right off the bat. A 4v3 advantage to Concord Maroon.
And it's looking good for them. And this is when Concord Maroon starts to get dangerous, right? Give them an inch, they take a mile. You give them one clutch round, and they're going to take that momentum all the way forward through the rest of it. Megatron now might have seen the head of one player for just a sec, though his teammate is going to go down. It's now a 2v2.
Another kill lands for Megatron. He is doing so much damage with this sniper rifle straight off of that clutch rounds. It seems like he's starting to put things together, but a great flank by Shields is going to make it a 2v1. So, Red Chase, you are in the position that your teammate was last round. Will you be able to add another clutch and tie things up at 3 rounds apiece, or is this one finally going to go the way of Illini Orange? Good for the Orange as they have Shields still up. He is 6-2. He has been playing it well through these first 5 rounds, and he has spotted him out. Damage lands. Actually, that was Grinch through the trench, picking up the final kill. And Illini Orange are not laying down yet. They stretch the lead back to 2.
Yeah, bomb goes down that early, that fast, and if you're not able to pick it back up, you know that at least one out of the 2 players for Illini Orange are gonna be holding that site, watching bomb the entire time, and they really just played that absolutely perfect the entire way through. Good break out of Megatron to be able to get that sniper kill when it was the most necessary. But now we start to think, how much are you going to keep holding the sniper out? You know, you keep being put in these little difficult positions where, you know, you have any weapon that isn't the sniper, and you maybe are able to get a little bit more aggressive on it. So I'm thinking maybe it might be might be time for them to put the sniper away and start to play a little bit differently. Now Red Chase with a nice little peek is going to get joked by Grinch. The wall bang is going to come through for him, and it was a good sight to start things out, but unfortunately, you got to finish the kills if you are going to start things off. Grinch is now on a 5 spree. He is feeling himself, and the collapse for Illini Orange over on the B site is beginning to start, and Crooked and Paralysis, they are the only 2 left alive to start things off, though Crook is able to find one. He's going to dance through, saw the second. Don't think he's going to start to play that just yet. Paralysis is going to be false, so now it's Crook's last one alive. Fighting a player, he's going to be able to find that kill once again.
We're
and
back
this is
into
dangerous.
Another 1v2 situation as Crooked is trying to do it for his team. He's fought back 275, is going to bust in the door and picks up another one. He even escaped with his life. I do not know there was a player on the stairs, and now he's going to go hold the defuse. If he actually commits, he might have it. I don't know if Grinch is even suspecting this. Oh, he comes all the way through, and Crooked, did he stop holding it? Oh, no, he did. For a moment, I thought he gave up with 1 second left, but no, Crooked clutches it out. 3 kills and a ninja defuse with a man still up. That is going to be the 3rd round for Concord Maroon as they find miraculous ways to win these rounds from behind.
That was a misplay on the side of Illini Orange if I've ever seen one. I did that. Who was that last player alive? Was that Shields? Was that
I don't remember if it was Shields or Grinch, but either way, they spotted him out on the stairs, knew he was so low on health. He had a huge advantage in that aspect. You could have pushed him, but instead plays it passively, and just Crooked going forward and taking the advantage he was gifted and going to come out ahead. But now Shields does manage to pick up one, but can't find the second as there were 3 members of Concord Maroon pushing down the right side of the map. Grinch is going to try and drop some fire, but is not going to be able to pick up any kills, and a fast plant does get landed.
And the collapse now for Concord Maroon is going to start coming in. Versa is going to be able to find one, but with the bomb planted as well now, post-plant situation is going to be in favor of Concord Maroon. They're going to be all hovering around that B site as we speak. Now, Crit is going to be able to find one player, so that's one less player that they're going to have to deal with at least, but now... Yeah, it's completely open. I don't think they know that. Well, actually, you might be able to now that you can shoot through that door. Crooked,
he gets through the door. Is he going to be able to spray through? The damage lands, he runs out, and Concord Maroon still manages to pick it up. I thought for a moment Illini was going to be able to clutch that one through, but as they just spray through the door, Semtex landing in, and Drama picks up the last bullet onto the holding defuse.
I'm pretty sure we saw that exact situation happen in a CDL match like last week, and that's got to be fresh into everyone's minds. You can shoot through that door. You can shoot through that door, and both of those players from Concord Maroon, they took that, and they were able to do some beauty with it. So now, that's 2 rounds strung together for the side of Concord Maroon, and we can see here now on our map, we're going to have 2 players starting to push over towards that A side, but it looks like a stack is going to be coming in for the side of B. But this is good for Illini Orange. They're pretty heavily committing over for A right now in Concord Maroon. If
taking a little bit too much time, and as you see, those rotations are coming for the Concord Maroon. 1 and 2 members. So even though it was a 2-3 split to start, only 2 defenders at A. It has now been swapped over, but Concord might be confused now on where it's going. You see members running back and forth, and Shuffy does manage to come out and open up with the first kill. That is an advantage to Illini that's immediately traded back, but with Shields kill onto Crooked, it's a 4v3 situation with Illini trying to push it towards A. It is Shields, though, with the bomb in the middle of the map, and with Versa kind of clearing the path for him. I wonder if they're going to go for this rotation across. Concord does sense it out as their 2 members come all the way back to the B side building and are going to be setting up their defense here. Illini has been seriously taking their time on the call, and now it's kind of like they don't know where to go. Look at how the bomb carrier's not near the rest of his team right now.
They've got to pick a site, and it looks like that site is going to be A, but unfortunately, Trauma and Paralysis, they are going to start to pick up the kills for Illini Orange, and the push is going to start coming through. He's able to find another. Don't do it to him. He's not able to find it just yet, but his teammates are able to pick that one up, and a little bit too much hesitance for the side of Illini Orange early cost them greatly in the later parts of that round.
They had a great setup. As you said, the stack towards A, they had a 2-man advantage if they decided to push it, but then they just kind of stood there. They threw out a lot of tacticals, they threw out a lot of utility, but they didn't follow it up. Eventually, half of the team rotated back to the B-bomb site, but the bomb carrier didn't go with them. So I'm just really interested what they were doing right there. It seemed like the comms were not, everyone was not on the same page, and it ends up giving away the kill or the round to Concord Maroon, who is in a 3 straight round comeback. They are the first team to make it to map point, and they're looking to finish things off in the 10th round right now.
And it is all starting to fall apart for the side of Illini Orange. It's a full stack, almost a full stack at least, over towards A for the time being. Megatron is going to see if he can't find one. Might as well head for just a minute, but Crit's able to pick him off of there. Great shots out of him. So this is going to make things a little bit safer for the side of Illini right now. And looks like that bomb very quickly is going to start to push back. And it looks like they actually might have a quick rotation over towards the side of B. And if no shots are fired over on the side of A for a little bit,
Shields does
Illini's be away from that.
The first, and that is the call. So now Illini know exactly where they are going. Good play by Shields to be going for that top side flank. Let's see if Versa manages to spot anyone out. But it seems like Concord is going to be taking the bomb over to the window and going to have free access to the bomb site for now. Versa does manage to pick up the first onto Trauma, and as the plant comes through, it's a 4v2 situation. Paralysis and Red Chase have a lot to chew on right now. See if they can manage to pick up the clutch situation and win the map. Paralysis starts things off good by getting the kill, making it a 2v3. But the defuse is just going to come in through for Versa. The rest of the team is trying to waste time, but they lost track of where Red Chase is. And now suddenly the script is flipped. They come back on the clutch, and Concord Maroon manages to pick it up with 4 straight, 6-4.
And that was just so unfortunate for the side of Concord Maroon, or for the side of Illini Orange. They were, honestly, Maroon were in such incredible positions that entire time. You can see there was one player on Illini Orange who he was looking towards that bomb site, trying to see anyone crossing in between over by bomb, and he got distracted by the other player in the other house. And that was just a great split by them to be able to divide Illini exactly where they wanted them to, and it just kind of went completely in their favor. And taking a look at the stats real quick for the side of Illini Orange, decent stats across the board for a couple players, but Shuffy, he had a little bit of difficulties, 3 and 10 finishing that round off. Yeah,
Shuffy was on the sniper, and sometimes that's the stat line you see. On our Cloud Peak, the sniper's kind of up and down. Across from them, however, Crooked and Paralysis, they were guys that continued to clutch through rounds when it mattered most, as well as Megatron. He got off to a very hot start, kind of cooled off in the later rounds, but without him, they might not have had that chance for a comeback at all. So I got to give him a shout out as well. That is definitely a tough one, a backbreaker for the Illini, but they are not out of it yet. There is a reason we go best of 5. You need 3 maps, and so the comeback is still on, but as right off the bat, Concord is pretty good at domination.
Very good at domination, one might be able to say, and that's going to be very interesting to see if they're going to be able to pull the same jokes out of their hat that they were able to do this past round as well. I think we're just waiting to see if we're going to be going to a break or not, but moving forward for Illini Orange, it's going to be difficult, but we're going to have to see how that's going to go down after we come back from this break. So don't go anywhere. Domination, Illini Orange going up against Concord Maroon. It's going to be back in just a moment. Welcome back to College COD, and Concord Maroon going up against Illini Orange. Concord Maroon currently up 2-0 in the series. A little bit of a devastating search and destroy for the side of Illini Orange, but if you're them, you gotta once again pull your head up, look forward, and look at the domination, because now it's gonna be a difficult road to get through, but you gotta start pushing for the reverse sweep.
I always like to say the reverse sweep is still on technically, but this is a huge David versus Goliath situation because the domination scorecard for Concord Maroon is extremely impressive. They have not lost a single domination yet. And as we're going to be loading into map number 3, I don't know if Illini is actually going to be able to pick this up. I want to see them fight it out. I want to see them try their best, but it is going to be a monumental effort to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. And especially Concord Maroon, there's been quite a couple games where they've held teams to about maybe 70 points, 50 points, something like that on on St. Petrograd specifically. And we can see, so looking at the stats real quick, first overall in domination, 100-point differential in CCL playoffs. Once again, 2-0, 55-point differential.
And yeah,
It's a difficult
finish that point about St. Petrograd, like specifically, because that is where Concord is by far the best even.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, St. Petro, they hold teams to about, 50, 70 points at certain times, depending on how they're playing. And it's certainly a map, depending on which part you're looking at, where, Concord Maroon can just kind of do Concord Maroon things. You know what I mean? Like they can, like I mentioned before, every player on this team has the opportunity to just explode with energy, explode with plays, and just be aggressive whenever they need. And there's so many different points on Petro where they're able to do just that.
Specifically, also, I'm going to be seeing if they can lock down Illini back into their spawns on Petrograd. If you pick up the C and B flags, you set up the spawns in your favor, you can really pin the enemy team back and just play that spawn die back and forth. It feels terrible, and that is what Illini Orange has to avoid at all costs. They have to make sure that they escape. They play some guerrilla warfare, attacking from everywhere on the map, because if Concord can pin down exactly where they're coming from, it's going to be a rough one.
Yeah, and especially like you mentioned, just being able to push through and get them in a little bit of a spawn trap. I mean, we saw that even in the beginning of this series in Hackney Yard. I mean, in the beginning of that hard point, P1, 5 minutes on the clock, I think, before that point even opened, there was a player for Concord Maroon already pushing through over towards a P2 spawn. So they know how the spawns work on these maps. They know how to influence them. As difficult as it can be in Modern Warfare, every now and then, Concord Maroon do a very good job of at least trying to figure it out. And it looks like as we start getting into this game, Concord Maroon going against Illini Orange, we're going to see what Illini Orange is going to be able to pull out of their hat. Is unfortunately Shields is going to be the first one to fall, and Concord rather, not pushing for B just yet. Actually, looks like they are now, but Megatron finding 2, Paralysis finding 1 as well, and this B flag is not actually going to be going in favor of Concord Maroon just yet.
Good play there by Playoff Crit, getting both the MP5 and the Semtex to turn a double kill. He does end up getting shut down, but B stays available. And for the moment, Illini does have the lead. Paralysis though slides through, picks up 1, make it a double as he is 3-0 to start this off. How many can he get? It's only 3. The caster curse lands as he gets shut down, and still Illini Orange is managing to hold on. I want to see how long they can make it last as Grinch picks up his second kill from the backside of the map, and we might see spawns flipping right here.
That was such an important play by Grinch as well, to just be able to hold back, be patient, don't get overly aggressive when you don't need to, and just be able to secure those C spawns, because that's usually the point that you want if you're playing domination on this map. But unfortunately, for a little bit, A and B, we're going to go to the side of Concord Maroon, and now Illini almost getting B, but the neutral is going to come through as well in Crooked. Might have just seen that player for just a moment on that B flag, trying to shoot him out. Might jump down and try and get them out of there, and that's exactly what they are able to do. But at that same time, Illini, Shields, able to get through and start neutralizing that A flag, and that's all they wanted, it looks like. Shields gets the neutral, and he's just going to push straight too. That's so smart from him not to overstay his welcome and just be annoying.
That is exactly what I was going to say. Right now, we're seeing a great possession game being played by Illini Orange. They are doing only what they need and nothing more, as they've been able to hold it very close through the first 2 minutes of the map. Right now, B is going to be recaptured, but with only a 2-point difference. I mean, we're 2 minutes in. The score lines are only at 20 points apiece for both teams. They are looking to go all over the map, get the neutralized, flip spawns. It is an active flanking game so far, and neither team is able to dig their heels in and get set up quite yet.
Yeah, for a second, you also had 2 players for the side of Concord Maroon on either side trying to cap both C and A. That's a little bit difficult, even for Concord Maroon, for a little bit to pull off there, and for them it didn't actually work out, but luckily for them though, A and B are going to be held by them for the time being, but it looks like there are players collapsing onto B as it starts to happen. Crit though is going to fall, but B is going to be neutral. So once again, you mentioned the possession game, that's exactly what's happening once again right here. B constantly going in favor of each team at any given point in time, but now it's going to go in favor of Concord Maroon and Illini Orange. They got to push through. They got to push through, and they got to start being aggressive.
Illini are just starting to slip a little bit as Concord has set up finally a real defense on that B flag. They've held it for a good amount of time, and you can see it in the difference of scores. We cross over 10 lead for Concord right there, and if Illini cannot get out and cannot mix things up right now, they're going to continue to fall. What they need to do is not just keep it close. I would say they want to be going into the half with the lead, because playing from behind against Concord on their best map and mode, it is just not the way you'd be able to pick it up. But Shields right there does manage to turn two onto both Paralysis and Crooked. Pre-fires the corner, but cannot find the third onto Red Chase. But through it all, Illini listened to me, and they picked up C and B, starting to fight back.
Yeah, and that was a great play on Shields once again. He did the same exact thing he did before. He got in, got the neutral, and got out of dodge. But at that same token, I don't know how much I really agree with it, because it's just kind of... He gets the neutral, but he's not getting any more points, and he could have at least tried to dip around it a little bit, so he was at least in the position to get a couple kills and move forward and get that A point when it was safe. He couldn't have even done that. Red Chase picks up a double.
Disrespectful.
And that's Concord Maroon in a nutshell, though, right? They play to win, and they play to do it in any way that they possibly can, and Crook is just dancing around like he owns it, because really right now they do. End of the first half, 69-51. And the clock is ticking down even more. Illini Orange.
The time left. We don't know. And as Illini Orange take over both A and C, the gap will close for a little bit, but it is Crooked that breaks through the backside. He's going to go to neutralize that C flag, and now it is the last 10 seconds coming through. Concord will have the lead, but I want to see Illini Orange just play through, try and get a few more kills as Shuffy gets a double, Shield gets another, and exactly as I said, they get that little bit of momentum, feel a little bit hot as we go into the halftime with a 15-point difference, way closer, I think, than anyone expected.
Yeah, you really just said it right there. I mean, 15 is a lot closer than I expected it to be as well, and it's you're happy if you're Illini Orange, honestly, moving forward after this as well. And if you're Concord Maroon, you think if maybe they're going to start pulling out all the shots on this, but we're going to have to see what they are going to be able to do. Concord Maroon.
Illini has been playing it exactly as we said they needed to. As they were active all around the map. They never got pinned down to one spawn location. The difference is, though, despite playing it close, they were just that little bit behind the lead of Concord Maroon the entire time around. They need to change things up. Get right off to a fresh start here as Shields and Crit clean off the middle of the map. If they can get this B hold right from the start and even things back up, they might have a chance to force a fourth match.
And that was an incredible start from them. This is exactly the start that you needed. Like you said, you got to be able to get that B flag early, and that is exactly what they were able to do. Beautiful stuff out of them. Now Versa pushing through, just trying to get into Concord Maroon spawn. Be a little bit annoying, as we mentioned before. He is going to fall, though, and all the players, though, for the side of Illini Orange, they are doing everything in their power to just try and dip around Concord Maroon and play their own game. They're doing such an incredible job at it as well. Now Shuffy is going to dip in, get one, not able to get the second, though, and that was a very important position that, unfortunately, if we're not able to pull off. Now Concord Maroon has the A and B hold, and it's up to Illini Orange to push through. Start to get that set up once again.
That was a moment where you just see the gunplay holding on for Concord Maroon. At multiple times, there were members of Illini Orange that could have turned double or triple kills, but they just didn't have enough time to get enough damage down. And because of that, Concord fights all the way through, picks up the B flag. But look, on this backside, Shields does manage to neutralize A. So for a few seconds, we're going to be playing even. Illini needs to be pushing with their squad as a team right now and cap another flag, or else it is just going to be too little too late as Red Chase picks up a double kill from upstairs, and with that M4 through the windows, we'll see how much damage he does manage to turn.
Yeah, that was such an important play by them as well. You dip around, you get a lot of pressure on one more flag on the map, so it forces the squad of Concord Maroon to be split, but luckily, Concord Maroon doesn't exactly falter that easily. They're able to get up that kill, and it looks like the positioning for them looking absolutely incredible to start things off. Red Chase pulls off another one. Trauma dipping through, gets the kill with the help of Megatron, actually. Able to get another one as well, and the kill feed is all red. The side of Concord Maroon, and it's starting to look dangerous if you're Illini Orange. They're all spawning deep in the back of C.
I said how much damage can Red Chase do? He has 7 kills on the life. He has the best KD on his squad. But finally, as I mentioned it again, Caster Curse goes down as he gets a little bit aggressive. Out of the window comes Shuffy. He manages to turn 1, but doesn't find the accuracy to get the second. Playoff Crit helps him out with a double, but this B flag continues to just stubbornly stay in control of Concord Maroon, despite all of the offensives that Illini keeps throwing at it. Megatron around the backside manages to pick one up onto Shields. He's going to lay down, and Paralysis over at the A flag gets a couple of his own.
Yeah, this is a good position to be in if you're Illini Orange, but 130 to 100 points, you got to start playing absolutely perfect if you're them. And right now with the CB hold, you can do that as well. And now actually a trip cap is going to come in for just a moment if you're Illini Orange, and that's good. And Concord Maroon is going to be able to get that C flag as well. So now all they have to do for the preferred setup is to push through and get B. And if you're Illini Orange, you gotta play perfect.
I think Illini needs at least a neutralization. You pick up 12 points on the enemy when you're 2-1 on the flag per minute, and they might be just outside of that range right now. So even though they have the advantage, they are not out of the woods just yet. They need to get onto the C flag and neutralize it, and Paralysis is trying his best, but Playoff Crit shuts him down. If they can get this C flag, they have a chance, but it is all falling apart as around the backside, Concord Maroon has made it to A, and that might be the backbreaker. It's gotten down to only a 19-point difference, but Illini Orange, despite fighting as hard as they can, I think it might be just out of their grasp, and Concord Maroon is setting up to make it to the winner's semis right here.
Yeah, and that's just a little bit unfortunate for the side of Illini Orange right there, right? I mean, you against Concord Maroon, they're a team that you got to start hot against so quickly, and if you don't start hot, simply put and bluntly put, you're not, if you're hot in the second half, you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to come back as well as they might have wanted to do, though. And as the clock is going to start ticking down, Paralysis.
It's time to celebrate, and I can't say I blame him. It is exciting to make it to the semifinals. Oh, you don't want to see it too much. It's a little bit unsportsmanlike as we try to keep things clean. But the last few seconds coming through, this is the last tick, and Concord Maroon is going to pick up this game 3-0 and are headed to the winner's semifinals.
Yeah, and I think that's about what we expected for the side of Concord Maroon. But at the end of the game, though, 153 to 142, a 9-point difference is a lot closer than the score that I would have pegged Illini Orange getting at the end of this, though. I mean, but they played really well in the second half. They were able to keep it close, but Concord Maroon, they're showing exactly why they are so dominant as they are on this map.
They absolutely had a chance, did Illini Orange. Coming into the last minute of the game, they just needed to hold a 2-0 hold for a little bit of the time. They could never quite break it, and Concord Maroon, they played exactly what they needed to do, ran out the clock and win it in a close one. But GG's to both squads. Definitely, I was impressed with what we saw out of Illini right here as they managed to pick up, or they didn't pick up any maps, but they played them very close through the S&D, through the domination, which we thought would be a landslide. It was only a 9-point difference. That might be the closest anyone has played Concord on, I was about to say our club, on St. Petrograd in domination.
Yeah, I actually think you're right for that one as well. I mean, we said it before. They were so dominant, and obviously their dominant streak continues on Petro. For the time being, they are still undefeated in domination, still undefeated on St. Petrograd, and it seems like they're really only going to get better from here. And looking on the side of Illini Orange, though, they are going to drop to the losers bracket, so we'll have to see when we get a chance who it is that they are going to be playing for their lives. And that's a dangerous losers bracket going on right now. So they're not going to have an easy time by any stretch of the word. So I mean,
when you're getting this late into a bracket, whether it's winners, whether it's losers, everyone playing kind of still has a chance to come out on top. So Illini Orange, they are not out of the woods. They still get to play again, but they're going to need to turn things in and lock it down a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it seems like, I believe we actually have an interview, a pre-recorded one, let me state, with one of the members of the winner's side. It is Megatron for Concord Maroon, and we'll get to play that for you guys right now.
Hello and welcome, everybody. My name is Visions. Joined with me at the moment is Megatron, Concord Maroon's captain of the team. And well, we're getting ready to jump in towards a little interview. Thank you so much for joining me, Megatron. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm pretty sure I know exactly why Shift put me on the interview for as far as with you, but we'll dive right in towards some of these points. And I'm going to hit on last weekend where we had some amazing games go down. So you had a very tight game versus Arizona State where it went all the way towards that game number 5. And, coming off of that very tight game, was there anything that you were able to take away from that series?
So that was an extremely close game. I think first map score was like 250, like 70 or 63. It was a complete blowout. So after that, we went into it already kind of like taking it lightly.
Okay.
So, and then after that, like the first map, it was extra like, okay, yeah, like just going to be another breeze through. And then second map, we just don't really know how to play Piccadilly at all. And that was like the only map that they played all season. So they took that 6-5, blew him out on the Dom, and then the hard point, Trauma's controller broke. He was like spinning in circles the whole map. Shout out Trauma Mama for coming in and getting his new scuff in. But yeah, so after that, we weren't rotating at all that map either. We knew that from the start. So they kind of took that, and then we took the surge pretty easily. But since then, we kind of just took away, like, you can't take any team lightly. Like, Illini hasn't beat us in a single map the whole year. Going back to even the Black Ops 4 tournament, they've never taken a map off us. But I think after last week, we're not even going to, like, think about that. We're just going to take them as if they're the best team in the league.
Sure. And, I guess that's probably one of the building points coming off of my next question here. But overall, you said you come in a little bit lightly in towards that map set. And then, you go all the way to that game 5. You guys did close it out pretty convincingly when it came down to the wire, which is, obviously very important, having that game 5 clutchness built inside the team. Now, just kind of leading on towards that, though, was there anything that you guys were able to work out over this past week of practicing and scrimming that you think you guys were lackluster on from that last weekend that we just played in the CCL?
For sure. I think, like I said, I think we didn't rotate at all the first series, and then I think that's been a big focus for us this past week is getting our rotations down, and just kind of working out our teamwork again. I think we've kind of strayed away from our teamwork, and we're kind of individual a lot recently, and I think that's something that we've been working on a lot better. So rotations and setups have gotten a lot better this past week.
Perfect. Thoughts on people saying that you guys are overrated as the first seed?
Yeah. It is what it is. I think we're all used to it at this point. Because even coming back to the Black Ops 4 once again, everybody kind of came in, said we're overrated for that. Didn't drop a map in that. Going into the season, everybody said that we only won that because we had scrimmed a week before that on Black Ops 4s. Then we won the first CCL tournament on that. People still said that we're overrated. We won another tournament in CCL. People said that we're still overrated. So, it's whatever. I think we're always going to have those people that say that.
Sure.
I think the top 4 seeds in this, though, like, realistically, are about even, though. So, like, I don't think we're any above any of those 4 teams. I don't think they're any above us. I think we're all about the same. And so I think it'll be a close match if any of us get together.
I would say so. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stack talent that is able to go any way for as far as who stacks up on what day. But just for my final question here, Megatron, going in towards, obviously the goal definitely should win the entire thing. But what do you think is going to get you towards that grand finals, and what is it going to take?
Just that teamwork and passion that we've brought to every other tournament. I think everybody on our team at least can agree that, like, Concord is a complete different team in the tournament setting. We bring, like, just a complete different passion level.
Okay.
So I think just having that passion and the teamwork that we have had and have throughout the regular season at least as well would definitely kind of get us past, like, the TAMUs and Georgia Southerns.
Yeah, for sure. It's once you get down to some
Yeah,
of those top
exactly.
teams, those right.
Yeah.
It's almost you don't know which way it's going to go, how you guys are going to stack up. But I do want to say best of luck going forward through this playoff run, where things are going to unravel here very, very shortly for us. But thank you for joining me on the interview, Megatron. I do appreciate you taking the time to come out. And again, best of luck in the week. But that's going to be it for this interview. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be right back with some more Call of Duty action.